What's up, boys? There's a okay, let me start over. There was an Asmongold video a few days ago where he was reacting, or he was talking about like the Lost Ark problem essentially, and I really liked everything he said in the video. Thought it was really good. Agreed with everything. There was a couple things that I was like wanting to add on to it, but I thought he did a really good job, and he made another video called The Truth About Lost Ark, dropped 5 hours ago, and I want to check that out and see if maybe he talks, it says, but wait, there's more. We'll see if he addresses the things I was thinking of, or maybe more things will pop into my head while he's talking about it, but the main thing that, I mean, he's talked about it before, but like the main thing is, for me, is the peon system. Like, I feel like the peon system is like an excuse for them. I guess not an excuse. I feel like peons punish poor players, or like players that don't spend a lot of money on the game, more than like the bots. Like they just have them in as a way for them to make money, disguised as like, yeah, this is to solve the bot issue. It's doing nothing against the bots. Like, the bots are still in the game. Peons, I don't think, contested bots in any way. I don't really understand why people defend peons against bots, because like clearly it's not working. The bots are everywhere, and they're still dealing with them. So, yeah, let's see what he has to say.
Mr. Asmongold has a good point. Truth, Mr. Asmongold has a good point.
One sec, let me turn my in-game sound off. Sorry about that.
Truth about Lost Ark. So somebody watched my video about Lost Ark. My 1 hour unhinged rant about Lost Ark.
Yeah, I listened to the whole rant while I was working, and it was good.
So many have been asking me to review
I wanted to like watch that one on stream, but I was like, fuck, I got like 2 more hours of work. I'm not gonna be able to stream tonight, and I really wanted to see what he had to say that night, so I just listened to it while I was working.
Development note on April 20th during my live stream, and I posted a short edited video with my points as well. Also, at the same time, my viewers wanted me to take a look at Mr. Asmongold's point of view on the future of Lost Ark. I'm really glad everyone has a great point of view in the game, and raising voices to point out their constructive criticism about the game. I mean, if the game is really dead, you won't even have people voicing out opinions.
Yeah, that's what happened with WoW. It's like now people hardly even give feedback on WoW because they just don't give a shit about it anymore. It's sad.
I wanted to review Mr. Asmongold's feedback and thoughts, and wanted to add a few pointers to share my opinion about the Lost Ark game so far. It's actually really funny because these problems are already addressed in the past before, but the Korean community's feedback was a lot different back then. First topic is punishment of mistakes and gatekeeping. Let's start with my story. I run carries most of the time.
Okay.
Funny enough, as for raids examples like a con, doing a 5-man carry party takes about 40 minutes to an hour, whereas doing a full 8-man run with newbies takes about 40 minutes to party disband. I am very afraid of this because I have too many characters. Regular con hard run gives about 7,500 gold, but with a carry run, it's about 23,000 per run.
Honestly,
Damn.
that sounds better. Yeah, you
That's
make
a lot
more
of gold.
money.
I think this is a problem. It is so true that the developers put in wipe mechanics to prevent carry runs, but even if I'm not good at the game, I can still run carry parties right now. So we have this problem of raids being able to reset from one player's mistake while it's still being able to be carried. Touching the difficulty gets the counterpart angry by saying people have no skills, whereas making it too hard and mechanics so punishing makes gatekeeping harsher. This is definitely a problem that
Yeah, I'm glad that he acknowledges this, because yes, absolutely. If you have more if you have a more challenging run, you're gonna have more gatekeeping. The harder it is, the more it punishes you, the more gatekeeping you're gonna have.
We should think about this seriously. Personally, I don't know why doing said mechanics provides such punishment for failure. For example, why can't we make the mechanics very hard to execute, but it will provide you great buffs if you succeed? Obviously, this doesn't solve gatekeeping.
Dude, I tried to do Cackle Sadon on rehearsal difficulty week 1, and it went so bad. I don't know if I thought rehearsal was gonna be like easy, like WoW Raid Finder easy, and dude, we didn't like even get close to killing the boss, and I haven't tried rehearsal since. I don't know if people are having success in the rehearsal, but I did not in the pug. It was very rough. I tried it a couple more times, and there was a lot of question marks in chat, and I was like, I watched a video, but yeah, it didn't go well. I need to try and hit Cackle Sadon again, maybe on like the actual difficulty. But I'm very behind on item level. Like I just hit 1480 on my main, which is a Deadeye. Yeah, I don't know. I like Cackle Sadon though. Like it seems like a cool fight. I just haven't gotten that far.
But the mechanics provide positivity, not like negative punishments.
Well, it makes it hard to learn. I think that's also another really big issue is that like you can't really learn like how to do a mechanic whenever as soon as the mechanic is done wrong, the screen turns black and everybody dies. Like that learning experience is like super, super hard and like really punishing and unfun.
If you make a mistake. You're in a vicious cycle of this. I can't get into a party. Everyone is gatekeeping me. Well, make your own party. I made my own party, but nobody's joining. Your build is weak. Go buy a bus. I want to join a learning party to play the actual raid. Well, you can go make your own party. When I streamed this game, pre-clown raid.
Okay, this is an issue that I've been like... So this is my issue that going off on what I was saying earlier about like the peons, like fucking up poor players or players that aren't spending money in the game or just like a little bit, is like, okay, you have to gear alts if you want to play your main character and you want to progress your main character without spending money. And then to progress your alts, if you don't want to have to pay for a bus on all of your characters, well then you're gonna have to spend a lot of peons to make sure you have 4x3 by 1 engravings. Sorry about that. Yeah, you're gonna have to spend like a lot of peons, a lot of gold. So you're like losing a lot of gold, and you're running out of peons to gear up your alts to help push your main. And dude, I get like you end up just buying buses, which take away your gold, so then you can't buy more peons with the gold, and you can't buy more accessories with the gold because you're paying for buses. And I mean, you get a little bit of gold from paying for buses, but ultimately you're losing gold. And I don't know, it's a rough cycle, I feel like. The only classes you can like get away with not having 4x3 engravings is like supports. You can usually be fine with just 3 on them. But and then also like cutting an ability stone for alts. Oh my god, like you are not going to get lucky on more than 1 alt. In my experience, at least. Like, 1 alt might get really lucky. I think that was my Shadow Hunter that got lucky for me. All my other alts, it's like, I'll buy a few ability stones and then never buy them again. Just call it good with like a 5/6 ability stone.
Yeah.
I heard this type of comment maybe once every 3 days. Nowadays, with Bro Shaza out, I actually cannot count how many times I hear this every time I stream.
Well, yeah, because it's way harder. That's the reason. Like, Belshazzar is like 5 times harder than the clown. And it's also way longer, too. Like, and you have twice as many points of failure. Because with Belshazzar, you have 8 people. With the clown, you only had 4.
Gatekeeping in Korea is extremely harsh as well. And the mindset comes from, my character's XI level with level 9 gems. Why should I take this El Cheapo rat with level 7 gem? I'm gonna deny him. The natural instinct of not wanting to waste time in a raid causes extreme gatekeeping.
Well, and also the reason why not wasting time is so much more important than Lost Ark is because you have to repeat the same process so many times and you have to do the same raid so many times. Like, for example, if you didn't have to do the raid 10 times a week or 6 times a week, then you wouldn't see probably as much gatekeeping because people would afford to have more, people would be able to spend more time doing it, and there wouldn't be as high of a expectation.
Yeah, I would say literally the reason I haven't done Cackle Sadon yet is because it takes so much energy from me. Like when I'm playing, I haven't been playing Lost Ark consistently since Dragonflight came out, but when I do play Lost Ark and I'm like going hard trying to progress my main and doing like Legion raid for gold on all my characters, Argos, like I feel like it's so much energy to do all those. Like Argos is pretty free, Vulcan is pretty chill. Vicus takes some energy out of me for sure. I mean, I don't know. Like sometimes I'll be so tired by the time I'm like I get to Vicus that I'll just fucking buy a Vicus bus and be like, all right, I'm gonna go like cook dinner while this bus is going or something. And I don't know. It's like a week, and I have 7 characters. I never play all 7 though. I usually play like between 3 and 6 of the characters. Usually 3, because I don't know how the hell people play on 6. Like, I mean, I have a job as well. I feel like it's a lot to play on 6, and I'd get burnt out really quick doing that consistently. But if there's like some content coming out, or like I really want to hit like an item level, then I'll play all 6. But that's only because I have to. I would much prefer to play one character.
So in essence, since nothing has
Or
solved
2
the
at
problem
most.
so far, I do agree with lowering the difficulties for lower raids to a certain point, where newbies can just easily enjoy the fight, where they don't need to buy carries anymore. Maybe for people who wish for a higher challenge that gets upset about the nerf, we can preserve the old difficulties and challenge modes for more rewards that are not as significant, like silver or materials or skins.
Well, you already have the hell mode, right? I mean, like you already have that. And also, I don't really think that something needs to be challenging. Like, there are a lot of fights, whenever I think of, like, really, really good fights in WoW, most of the really, really good fights are not fights that if one person does it wrong, everybody dies. Most really good fights are fights that if you lose people, you slowly lose ground until it's too much and you die.
This will
Yeah, that reminds me of what's the like giant Cyclops guy in Castle Nathria that you fight in like the starting room? It's like Sledge Fist. I think it's Sledge Fist. I really liked that boss. Like it was like a DPS race, and like yeah, people would die a lot, and like but like you could still try and go for it. But you had to hit like a certain damage meter, like damage marker to get him, because he would just start going crazy once you broke all the pillars. That was a sick boss though. I really like, I don't know, Castle Nathria is one of my favorite raids in like the last 10 years or so, I'd say. Definitely my top.
make Argos.
To be fair though, I didn't do the last raid of Shadowlands. I only did Sanctum of Domination. I never tried the third one. I had quit playing by that point.
Carry effect. Nobody buses Argos in Korea because it actually takes longer to wait for a customer than doing the actual run, because people actually do it themselves due to the raid being so easy. Second point is peons in general economy. Peon argument is so funny to me.
Yeah, I think that really with the raids, and like my general opinion with the raids is that I think that the raid system in the game is just, it's way too repetitive. And also, like, I'm gonna be real, the raids in Lost Ark are really hard. They are massively fucking hard.
Yeah, they are.
It's not like it's just some kind of fucking, oh, okay, the boss does one mechanic, you have to move out of the mechanic, and then the boss dies. No, there's like 15 different patterns. 3 of them you have to react to within like, 20 milliseconds. And if you do anything like that wrong, one person makes a mistake, everybody dies. It's extremely fucking challenging. And you have to have 8 people doing it right at the same time. Some people like when it's harder, and some people like whenever you go through the entire fight without losing anybody. Yeah, but I think that, again, like, everybody is going to have a different preference on something, but just because everybody has a different preference on something doesn't mean that you shouldn't fall off on one side of the fence or another.
Time ago, when Koreans were complaining about peons, all of them were counter-argued as sarmo, which is rice eater in translations. This means you sell gold to make a living eating rice. If users complain about spending too much to achieve something and asking for a honing nerf or easier access to growth, you were called that way.
You get called a rice eater for wanting honing increases? Oh my god.
Bruh.
A fucking rice. Oh my god. What, number one, what's wrong with rice? I feel like rice is fine. But damn, yeah, toxic Koreans apparently.
Dude, white rice is the best, I'll say it.
Holy shit. These guys don't fuck around.
I do not understand about this game is that the Korean community in this game has way too overprotective people who cares about developers too much for some reason. To a point
I think that it's not only that they care about developers, I think it's because they've invested a ton of money and time into the game, and they don't want to see somebody else who didn't put all that money and time into the game to just show up and just get all the stuff they worked hard for or they spent tons of money on. Absolutely. That's a major reason too. Like, you see that with WoW all the time. Well, we can't nerf this. I worked so hard on this. This was so hard for me to do. We can't make it better. Oh, no, we can't do that. It's just so annoying, man. Like Feldrake? Yeah, remember whenever they made the... Bro, like, you worked hard to buy something for $6,000. Oh, my God. Give me a fucking break. It's just so ridiculous.
they don't take constructive criticism as feedback, but an offensive to their beliefs. If I be blunt, it really feels like a cult sometimes.
This is the same thing with WoW too.
Because their major counter argument of removing peons is how will developers make money? There are also
how can they possibly make any money if you remove peons? So oh god.
If they remove peons, it's still gonna be pay to win. They're still gonna have skins. They're still gonna have crystalline aura. Like, they have so many ways.
How will the developers make money? I don't know. Like, how about every other game? Like, I mean, how is it?
They have
that
so
Lost
many
Ark
options.
Can't make money. Like, you literally you sell skins. You have a subscription. The game is pay to win. You can buy and sell gold that the developer gets a cut of the transactions. Like, bro, if you can't make money at that level, you are doing something massively fucking wrong.
more counter arguments as it prevents buyouts and market flippers. This one I kind of understand, but I personally do not understand why costing items like stones and tripod amulets cost peons. They're expendable. There are solutions like making accessories resellable only once, or amulets not resellable. Funny thing is,
or just get rid of them and don't worry about it because it's fine. That's the thing. Yeah, or just get rid of them and then just see what happens. I love how, like, people think that, like, as soon as they get rid of them, like what do you think is gonna happen? Like, everybody is just gonna start buying like level 3 tripods? Like, you can't have people just going and buying all the tripods. Just going and buying them like crazy. Like, what the fuck? What is this?
back then, if other users said the exact same thing, you were called Simok, they think you want the easy.
Another fucking a rice eater. Oh my god. Bro, this is so sad. Wow. They're also...
The whales really took over there. One sec, I gotta use the bathroom real quick. Oh, alright, I'm back.
It'll be a lot cheaper in non-BIS accessories for new players to try new builds. Yeah, exactly. Like, I would try other types of engravings, but, like, I'm not going to spend a bunch of money and time, like, building a character doing different stuff Because, like, I mean, for me, like, for example, I always loved using Whirlwind. Everybody said don't use Whirlwind, but I always used it and I liked it. So, like, maybe there would be another engraving that I would like more than, like, Grudge or Cursed Doll or something like that. But we'll never know.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass to
People don't
swap
want to take
builds.
risks.
Or level 5 tripods. In my perspective, I want the new users to not feel the same pain I've had. But it's funny how some petty people feel otherwise. I felt the community's jealousy and pettiness the strongest when people were complaining about the World Trade Leaves nerf. We recently
Oh, bro, like, this is, it's so bad. Like, the World Tree Leaf nerf? Okay, so just for anybody who doesn't understand, this is the way the collectibles for gathering work. Whenever you gather something, there's a chance that you get a collectible. That's it.
Yep.
It's not like for some collectibles you need to gather certain ore. No, any ore gives you all collectibles for ore. Any fucking tree gives you all collectibles for tree. It's just the most brain dead. Like,
Damn,
these
have we gotten the
these
nerfed patch?
systems are why people bought. This is why people bought right here. It is brain dead, dumb fuck content. It's RNG. It used to be specific, though, and it should be.
Dumb fuck.
Each of the world tree leaves, like, you know what the world tree leaf should be? It should be like one world tree leaf you get for cutting down like 15 level 30 trees in Punica or something like that. It would be interesting at that.
That's what I thought it was. Like, I thought each one was for like a different zone, maybe. Like, you just had to like, you'd have like a high chance per like different zone, but turned out not to be the case. I think I have like, I don't know, maybe nine leaves.
Oh, you have to
maybe
cut
8.
down 500 mushrooms.
And I've done a lot of professions, but I guess not that much,
we'll
clearly.
Go do that. But no, there's nothing like that. Oh, you get one of the mining ones if you use the mining bomb on the Spider Island egg 50 times. No. No, we don't have that. No, we don't have anything interesting. We just have hit tree, get leaf. Hit tree, no leaf. Hit tree, no leaf. Hit tree, no leaf. 500 times later, hit tree, leaf. Oh, all right, good. Keep hitting tree, maybe get another leaf. Like, it's just so dumb. I don't understand. Like, what are they thinking over there?
had a nerf where it would be easier to get the newer ones. People who had the World Tree Leaves before the nerf complained to the developers and wanted a rollback because they work hard for it. Yes, this actually happened.
This same thing, yeah, exactly. This same thing happens in WoW all the time. Whenever they make something easier, everybody that already has gotten it loses their fucking minds. And in their mind, it's better for them to keep the game bad to preserve their ego than to make the game better. Sounded
Third
like a
point
rice
is
eater?
exhaustion of content.
Yeah.
Mr. Asmongold has a good point. In this game, making alt's goal is to make more efficient to push for new content. And we are
Exactly. 100%. And I guarantee you, if you made every item that you got not tradable with your other characters, immediately like this is how alts would go, all right? This is like the alt participation rate. It's like right here, it would go like this. It would immediately go down. Because nobody wants to fucking sit there and farm the same raid 6 times unless they're getting something for it.
to make alts and forced to do dailies on them to actually generate more revenue. When I saw people reacting to the opinions in the Korean forums, some people were furiously disagreeing with his point of one main and alts for fun. The main counter
Oh my
argument
god.
is,
I would be so addicted to Lost Ark if I could only play, if I only had to play, not if I only could play, if I only had to play one character, I would probably still play like 2 characters, probably 2 or 3. But I'd definitely not, like I wouldn't be playing like that 3rd character that much. I'd probably be mainly playing my main and then like, okay, I got everything done on my main and I got like 2 days left before reset and now I can do whatever I want on like my other characters. But no, you literally have to like get gold on your alts. You gotta get, I mean, you gotta get mats from your alts. you either have to sell your mats to get gold on your alts, or you can give the mats to your main if you have gold. But usually I'm selling my stuff for gold because I'm always behind on gold with the honing rates costing gold. Always gotta buy them better accessories for my alts and stuff. It's rough.
In Korean MMOs, you either grind 6 characters or plus, or pay up money to catch up investing less time.
Okay, that sounds great. Well, then keep it that way in Korea, and over in the US, let's have a different system because it's
True.
a different culture. The way you guys do it over there sounds great. Have at it, have fun. Yep, sounds good to me. All right, cool. You guys want to keep it that way? Great. All right. I'm not trying. I don't want to force my viewpoint on them. Like, I feel like this is a simple solution. You want to make the game successful in a Western audience. Stop making people play like Koreans. It's not crazy, is it? Like, fuck.
We're asking for too much without any effort.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about them over there. I don't know what they eat over there, but like we like rice over here.
True.
We are proud rice eaters. So I have no problem with this.
Had rice for dinner last night.
Until I understood the RMT culture in Korea. Like I mentioned Sarmok before, Korean MMOs are more convinced as investment than video games. Yes, people actually make a living off of selling gold. I thought it was a small portion of the users, but it's actually a significant amount, even if it's a gray area in terms of service.
Holy
It's actually
shit.
quite sad in my opinion, but it's the sad truth. I have never seen a community so sensitive.
How big is a significant amount of users are making a living off selling gold? That sounds crazy. A significant amount, I would assume, is at least like 1% of the player base.
About gold influx in a video game. Therefore, I believe the jealousy is at its absolute max when a player is able to access great rewards with minimal effort. People are terrified of players who make multiple accounts to make gold, and people who can generate ludicrous amounts of gold, because it correlates to actual money. There was an example.
I think that makes sense, yeah, sure, because like it's fucking with their money. So if they're selling gold, they don't want to have this kind of stuff happen. Yeah, it's ruining their investment.
Back then, there was no 6-character limit. I had 20 characters back then, and I ran 20 Argos, 20 Valton, 20
cannot
Vikings for
imagine
all the
that.
gold. Yes, I had
20 Vicus? I can
Dude.
understand Argos. I mean, that's just fucking one and done. But Vicus?
I could not do
20
that shit.
Bolton Gate 1s?
no life on this game, but I really enjoyed doing it. Not many people were able to do this, so people hated those small people who were generating a lot of gold, saying
Yeah,
they're
of
the
course.
cause of inflation, which is somewhat true. However, after the 6-character limit, those exact same people reached over 6 characters now. They want the 6-character limit lifted off. Hopefully you guys see the pattern here.
Yeah.
There are parties that always fight with masks on who want to RMT gold. Therefore, this phenomenon, where if anybody asks for any quality of life change for less grind, they instantly think you're a Sarmo. The main
Well,
point
I think the fucking rice eater. Yeah, I think that makes sense though, right? Is that they don't want to have anybody else fuck with their money. Because if they're able to make a good, like, $300-400 a month selling gold on the side, and then you make it to where gold doesn't matter as much, well, you just took away $100 from them. Okay, they had $100, you took it away. And they're not happy about it.
need to address after is the daily content. Again, we're in a vicious cycle of this. I hate doing 2 Chaos Dungeon, 2 Guardian raids every day with my X number of characters.
Yeah.
There's a rest gauge. But the game encourages you to do them twice every day to get the full rewards. Nobody's forcing you to do this. You're FOMOing. I like this class.
That's
Listen,
literally, oh my god. That's like literally,
Well, no, you are forced to do it, because if you're not doing it and the community is doing it, you are going to be statistically behind the community because they're getting more rewards than you are statistically.
yeah, and they release content based, like, I know they've slowed down a lot, but still, like, I'm still not Belshaza, and I played like a shit ton, I feel like. And then, so Tiny Tina's Wonderlands came out last year, around this time. I think it was last April or March. And I took like a few weeks break from Lost Ark when that game came out, and I played that a lot. It was fun. It's like a looter shooter, kind of like Borderlands. It's like made by the same people as Borderlands. And dude, I got so far behind because when that came out, I was only playing like my main on Lost Ark, and then I would just play Wonderlands the rest of the time. And yeah, that hurt. I was not able to do Argos in time. So in total on Lost Ark, like since this came out, I think I've probably spent about $100 on the game total. I remember I spent like 40 one month for Feons, and then I bought another 40 like a month after that, and then I got the Founders Pack, and that's about all I've spent on the game. I got the $15 Founder Pack, like the cheapest one, and that's about it. So I guess about 95, but I may have bought like a $10 somewhere in there, so maybe it's about 100, 105. And yeah, I did. I'm still not caught up, but I also haven't played since Dragonflight came out. But other than Tiny Tina's Wonderlands coming out, I haven't played anything but Lost Ark like as a main game, and I'm still like really behind. So yeah, it's not good.
So it will be harder for you to get into groups, and you will fall behind in progression. This whole idea that like, oh, you don't have to do it, you're right.
It is very hard to catch up in Lost Ark.
You don't exist in a vacuum. You exist in an online persistent world with thousands, millions, I don't know how many other people play in Korea, hundreds of thousands of other people.
To higher tier rates, but I already do dailies on X number of characters. Don't do the other characters then. Nobody's making you do it. During last low on, one user actually gave feedback on these daily tasks and homework, mentioning he has multiple characters. The developers did say that the daily tasks are the minimum playtime expectancy they have for the game. I honestly think they set this because they calculate it based on 1 or 2 characters.
Well, yeah, exactly. I think that the thing is, doing 2 Chaos Dungeons a day and doing 2 Guardian Raids a day is fine. It's not a big deal. The problem is doing it a bunch of different times. That's the difference.
Funny part is, I do not understand why the community is so against making this change. And most of the counter argument is, 1. Use rest gauge. 2. Nobody forces you to do so. And the worst one ever I've heard was, we used to do 3 times, so don't complain.
Yeah, there you go. Yep, there it is.
Nowadays, people are also asking for 1 Chaos and 1 Guardian. But again, they're still being called Sarmok, if you have this opinion. This is because Chaos Dungeons provide too many rewards if you do them every day. They're higher than any Legion raids due to content providing shards, silvers, and mats. In order for you to push at a proper pace, the game is designed for you to do a Chaos Dungeon every day, which is about 8 to 10 minutes per character. I had never heard any other counter argument than use rest gauges and nobody forces you to do so. If the system allows people to do the grind, you're incentivized to do them. I think
exactly. And again, in a game that has such strong gatekeeping, you think about this logically, right? So somebody who doesn't keep up with the community and doesn't keep up with trends and what they're supposed to do in the game, like, what do you think the odds are that that person is going to be on average worse than somebody else who does? Well, I fucking bet that the person who's running Chaos Dungeons all fucking day, playing the game constantly on all their characters, is going to be better at the game because they're more invested in it. So it creates, again, another self-fulfilling prophecy where people that are, playing the game more are getting better gear. They're gearing up. The people that aren't are not gearing up. They're not getting that good stuff. And it just makes the gap wider and wider. That's the same reason why, like, for example, in WoW, I would always ask for item level inside of time walking. And time walking normalizes your item level. However, if you're a good player, you're going to have a high item level. Now, are there exceptions? Absolutely. However, if you take 1,000 people that are a low item level and 1,000 people that are a high item level, which group of people do you think you're going to have a higher proportion of good players in? Well, obviously the higher item level, because those are the people that are on average more invested in the game. This is purely logic. So you don't have to be good to get a good vault. Yes, you're right. But the odds are...
Well, you have to do the hard content to get a good vault, though. So that's kind of not true in a way.
People that get good vaults are good more often than people who don't. This is just whoever invested more time. Yeah.
And also, yeah, you can invest more time in getting a good vault, like getting more options for your vault to have better luck on getting a good vault.
And guess what? If you take 50
But it's not guaranteed.
people that invested more time and 50 people absolutely not, like bad take, dude, I am 100% right, and it's not even a question. Anybody who is denying this is completely fucking delusional. If you honestly think that the average skill level between somebody that has an item level of a mythic raider is the exact same as the average skill level of somebody that has an item level of an LFR raider, you are fucking delusional, and you are an idiot, and you are denying every sense of common rationality possible. You are a fucking moron if you think that these are even too remotely close to similar things. And the same thing is the case with Lost Ark. Because on average, I guarantee you, the people that are 615 item level over in Korea are probably...
Bro, my cam's blocking the chat, but there are some people in chat raging that he just said that.
better
Because they're probably the people with Raid Finder item level.
than the people that are 515 item level. On average. People do not understand averages and statistics. Don't make your misunderstanding tell you that I'm wrong. Using statistics in games is one of the reasons games are not fun anymore. Everybody uses statistics in games all of the time.
An argument that puts faults on users is not a very good take.
Mm-hmm.
This is my personal opinion though. Why do we need to do the exact same thing twice when there are a lot more?
Great fucking question. Why do we need to do the exact same thing two
Dude, that shotgun ability that gunslinger just used was sick.
times? Absolutely.
Sorry, it was random.
More fun things that the game offers. One of the latest content we got is the Primal Island, a battleground minigame where you receive rewards based on your rank. There are
it's like a BR. That's cool.
so many unused activities in Lost Ark. Why can't dailies be different activities like Monday Chaos Dungeon, Tuesday Guardian Raids, Wednesday Naruni Racing, or Thursday Primal?
Yeah, I can't believe they got rid of Naruni Racing. I did Naruni Racing today. I got first place.
Wait, is it back?
Like across both teams, and my team won. It wasn't a big deal, but you know, it's just how it is.
Island is not the best idea, but can we
I'm gonna
try?
have to hop on Lost Ark
It is a
today.
fact that people are getting burnt
That's
out
back.
playing multiple characters daily. There has to be a solution to fix this, and it's really a good point to point that out right now. Other topics like battle items and others are also good. Addition to the comment, why battle items can't be roster bound? I am pretty sure people who have opened bunch of Adrofin on a support character by accident. Again, these battle item related arguments connect to, yes, RMT and Sarmok. There has been multiple feedbacks on disable battle items for Hell mode. People's counter argument is battle items impacting the economy, so people should pay for them to enjoy Hell mode.
That's such a stupid argument. That because people buy and sell this thing is good for the game. It's idiotic. Yeah, it's idiotic. Like, how do you think like this? It's just so shocking that people have a mind like this. It's incredible to me.
Doing Hell mode actually does not cost that much gold, which I agree at that point too. However, Hell mode itself does not...
Dude, I think if we're gonna have this terrible system where you have to play alts in Lost Ark, they should at least make every item at like the minimum trading level roster bound, like including gear. It's so dumb that you have to spend peons to trade gear to one of your alts.
give that
It's
much
so
value
stupid.
other than titles. Personally, I think I've paid my gold to increase my gameplay due to Hell mode's difficulty.
Yeah, and also the entire game is built around eye level. If you don't have the eye level for something, you literally can't queue.
Even with those points, I still do not understand why we would need to spend resources other than time to enjoy Hell mode.
True.
This content is actually really extremely well made for people who like challenges. It's disappointing that people are not giving it a try due to reasons like battle items.
Oh, I would 100% play Hell mode if I didn't have to collect all these little items in order to do it. Absolutely. But, like, I don't want to learn and do this knowing that, like, I'm behind on items. You got hit? Yeah, I mean, bro, it's probably a bug or lag or something like that.
This is also a complex problem, because if rewards are added in hell mode, people who are not able to clear them are going to feel jealous.
Rewards are not added in hell mode. People are not... Oh my
An
god.
issue is that in Korea, there are people who pilot where drivers get paid to carry hell modes for titles.
Uh-huh. Now you see... Now this is the rice eater angle. See, you don't want to see people that are going in there and they're able to, oh, now they can clear it easily. Well, if they could just go clear it easily, well, then what the fuck?
Even though this is against TOS, people still do them, and I think it's a big problem. Whatever the result is going to be, they should make a more clean decision to the purpose of this content. Lastly, I want to talk about my personal opinion about the state of the game. I played this game for over a year every day. I always had fun playing this game and never regretted spending the time grinding this game. Some people may say I wasted my time or no life it, but I think the
No, I don't think so at all. I think it's a fun game. What's wrong with playing a fun game?
most important thing is being happy at whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
If new players get to be near where I am with a fraction of my time, I would welcome that, because I play MMO.
Well, that's always how it's going to be. Like, I guarantee you, in a year from now, like right now, dude, whenever I stopped playing seriously, I had the highest item level that you could possibly get. Literally, nobody could have a higher item level than me. I had a plus 20 everything. And then whenever fucking whatever the other raid came out was, I was like 1560 in Vicus or something like that, or during the clown raid. Like, my item level was fucking insane. And now I look around and there's multiple people that are above 1500. They're everywhere. And guess what? That's what happens. That's the way the game goes.
MMOs to interact with other players.
In a year from now, it will be easy for me to do the same damage that somebody can do right now with the best gear in Korea. In 1 year from now, I bet you can achieve that with probably 20% of the money that's spent now.
Not to be the best, most powerful, rich player. The system should always benefit new players to generate more players.
Yeah,
and
it's always better to benefit new players than old players.
grind should always be at minimal to experience fun stuffs at the end. However, making it too easy also makes users abuse this as well. So it's definitely a hard balance. I don't want people to fight to argue which is right or wrong. People have different perspectives.
Dude, my Deadeye is like 1480 right now, I think. And I think to do Brelshaza, like just the first gate, I think you need 1495, or maybe it's even 1505. And I feel like getting just 1495 would take me probably like, I think like at least 3 weeks. I could be wrong on that. Maybe it's quicker, but that's like, I think that's 3 weeks of playing 6 characters, like nonstop too. Like not just playing my main.
Not wrong perspectives. I am glad developers are listening now, and let's hope for the best. If everything fails, well,
I hope they do fucking listen. Please start listening. That's all I want to see. Just sit down, listen to what people have to say, and give your reasoning for why you're not doing it this way.
we just move on.
It's that easy.
After all, it's just a game. With that being said, thanks everyone for listening. Bye-bye.
Aw, that's a nice video. I'm glad that he was able to make that. I haven't watched an ATK video. I've watched his stream multiple times, but I've never actually watched any of his videos. So yeah, what a nice guy. ATK, he's a Korean Lost Ark player. He's collabed with like Zeals and like Stoops and like all the guys in the Lost Ark community many, many times. So yeah, I mean, shout out to him. I'm glad that he likes my perspective on it, and hopefully more people will start seeing it the same way. It's not good PR to say we only want the most money, not the most player enjoyment. Well, the reality is this, right? You can say that they're doing it for player retention. However, this doesn't look like good player retention. Maybe whenever you lose literally over 90% of your audience, maybe you should consider doing something different. Like, obviously, like, this is not working. And I guarantee you, that if you look at their revenue chart, it's something like this. There is no way they're making more money here than they were here in the timeline. Yeah, they are losing money. It's not working. It's time to try something different. And also, if they don't want to do this over in Korea, great. I don't give a fuck what they do over in Korea because I don't live in Korea. I care about the Western version of the game. So just change the Western version and keep it whatever the fuck. Like, oh, they think you're a rice eater if you don't want to do 2 Chaos Dungeons a day? Sounds good. Make them do 3. Not my fucking problem. But over here, I don't think we should have to do that. That's it. Korean players won't even let Yaz's jar be non-pay to win.
I would be fine with the 2 Chaos Dungeons and 2 Guardian Raids if we had that like main option he was talking about, where you pick a main every week and that character gets soulbound loot or bind on pickup, whatever you want to call it, and like they get 6 times the loot of a normal character, and then your other characters can still be like alt characters or whatever. I mean, I think it'd be great if you just like you could make characters like that. Maybe they just make all the loot bind on pickup if you like want to select for that, like, hey, I'm not gonna sell this, give me more loot though so I can actually upgrade my character. And then that way when you get that loot, like, you're only using it for upgrades and not selling it. I don't know, that's a way. And then if you need to make gold, you can do the less loot, but then it's sellable. But I guess that would drop down the value of all those mats, so I don't know. I still think that would be better for the game, for people to be able to pick 1 or 2 mains instead of 6 or 12 or 20 in some cases.
When in our version, they'd never do that for us. Well, I don't really... Yaz's jar is like really not that big of a deal. Like if you actually look at the statistics that it provides, it is extremely minimal. Like I think it's probably less than 5. It's probably like 2.5% damage, something like that. It's like nothing. Bozo's jar. That's what they should do. Amazon should add it and call it Bozo's jar.
Oh, yeah. Let's look at the comments. I love Asmon's take about boss fights, slowly losing ground until it becomes overwhelming if someone dies. That's a fantastic way to make boss fights. Makes them feel more epic, more pressure. It's not over in a flash. It's a desperate back and forth, and that's awesome. Yeah, I definitely agree. Like, Sludge Fist from Castle Nathria comes to mind when he was talking about that. Where, like, you can keep going if people die, because it is a high damage, like, fight. And you need to, it's like a DPS race, but, like, you lose people, the fight's not over, you could still do it, as long as they didn't die, like, right at the beginning or something, because you're gonna need their bonus damage. I think Sludge Fist was a great fight. It was tough, but didn't have, like, some thing where somebody messed up and then everybody dies. Unless your tank messes up, then everybody does die in that fight. If they charge a wall. What the fuck? I was gonna read that, but it's really long. Alright, let's read this guy's comment. It was incredibly weird for me to pick back up Path of Exile and drop Lost Ark for a while. Suddenly I could do whatever I wanted in the game. I haven't tried Path of Exile yet. I don't know if I will. The only reason I haven't tried it is because I found out about the game like after it had been out for a few years, and I just assumed it was like one of those games where it would take me a long time to catch up. But maybe it's not. Maybe it's way better than Lost Ark in that aspect. The freedom of what content I wanted to tackle made me feel nearly lost after being so used to having a strict habit of dailies with Lost Ark. Sure, they're completely different games, and I wouldn't compare them one to another. It's like comparing Minecraft to Call of Duty. I don't think it is. They're both MMORPGs, they're both top-down. They're very similar. I don't think Path of Exile is pay to win, but Lost Ark pretty much is. But also, there's just like a bunch of other bullshit in Lost Ark if you don't pay to win. But what it did is made me realize how much of an absolute chore Lost Ark is and how little freedom you actually have to enjoy yourself. It's a game built on psychology to create dependency, habits, and addiction, not on actually trying to get you to have a good time. Lost Ark wants you to be behind, it wants you to feel like you need to push more, it wants you not to enjoy playing the daily game so that you are enticed to open your wallet, which is why the daily grind is so bland. It's predatory, tough. Oh, I think he meant to put through and through. The raids are the hard selling point, and being able to do 3 a week per character while having mind-numbing fucking daily grind is by design. The raids are just enough to get just enough enjoyment here and there, so you don't want to give up after a ridiculous time investment. I found now that Lost Ark is like a job that expects you to pay them. Yeah, I could see that point for sure. I really don't think we'd be having this issue if you could just play one character. Like, there's so much you can do in the game. If you could just play one character, I would do so much horizontal content. Like I'd be gathering Makoko seeds, finishing my masterpieces, Giant's Hearts. I've gotten most of the Giant's Hearts and the Omnium Stars because they give skill points, and I really don't like not having all the skill points. Because I feel like that's a big deal for like your character's feel and playstyle. So I did farm those out, but that set me back on the vertical content, like getting my item level up and stuff. Yeah, I really hope they do something like hopefully soon, where they find some solution. I mean, there's plenty of solutions they could do where you don't have to play 6 characters and you can just play 2 or 3 and still progress your character in like a decently, like you can progress your character in a way that makes sense. Like, it doesn't have to be ridiculously fast, but like, you shouldn't have to play 6 characters to progress your character week by week. Like I said, I'm 480 or 1480 on my Deadeye, and the next boss for me to like get is Belshazzar, and I think that's 1495. It could be 1500 or 1505, I'm not sure. I know for the first gate though, I think it's 1495. And to go 1480 to 1495, I think I would have to play 6 characters for about 2 or 3 weeks to get there. Because you have to do a lot of, I mean, it could be faster if I got really lucky, but that's I gotta hone a lot to get there. So it could be a week or less if I did get lucky on honing, but usually I don't get lucky on my main. It's weird. But yeah, that was a good video. Let's see.